They tell you that when you're about to marry the love of your life, your body just knows, your heart's calm, your mind's peaceful, you feel safe. So, explain this to me. Why did my fiancé flinch like I pulled a gun on him when I reached for his phone? No, for real, how do you go from planning your dream wedding to realizing the man you're about to marry is hiding something so bad, his soul jumps out of his body over a locked screen? Because that tiny moment, that was the first crack in a perfect-looking lie. Mark and I were that annoying couple online. Matching outfits, weekend trips, forever captions under every post. People used to DM me saying, "I want what you have." And I used to smile like I'd won the lottery. But here's the part nobody tells you sometimes. The prettiest pictures are just filters over rot. 3 days before our wedding, the house was in chaos. Boxers everywhere. Seating charts spread on the table. My mom blew up my phone about flowers. Mark was being extra sweet, too sweet, rubbing my shoulders, calling me wifey, promising me our future like he was selling a dream he didn't own. We collapsed on the couch, exhausted. I reached for his phone on the coffee table just to check the time. That's an innocent dot, and he jerked back like I'd burned him. Not a normal reaction, not a my bad laugh. I panicked, real panic, the kind you can't fake away. He snatched the phone and smiled to fuss. "Work stuff. Surprise for you. Don't peek." My stomach dropped. You ever get that feeling where your gut starts screaming, but your heart is still trying to play dumb? Yeah. That dot later that night, he went to shower and left the phone face down on the nightstand. I stared at it like it was breathing. I told myself not to touch it. I told myself I trusted him. Then I picked it up. The passcode was changed. We'd known each other's codes for years. My hands started shaking. I tried his birthday. Nothing. Our anniversary. Nothing. Then I tried the date we met. Unlocked the first message thread at the top. Wasn't even trying to hide. The contact name was Pizza Hut. Since when does Pizza Hut send heart emojis at 11:47 p.m.? I opened it, and I swear, my brain couldn't process the words fast enough. This wasn't flirting. This was a whole relationship. 6 months deep. Inside jokes, plans, photos I wish I could unsee. Then, I saw the message that made my blood go cold. He told her the wedding was just for show. He told her she'd be there to watch it. He told her it would be their little inside joke. That's when I realized something that changed everything. He didn't just cheat on me. He invited the betrayal too. Sit in the audience. I put the phone back exactly where it was, wiped my face, and practiced my smile in the mirror. Because if he thought I was about to explode, he'd never see what I was about to do next. And the wild part, I didn't cry, not that night, not the next morning. I walked around like nothing inside me had shattered. And that scared me more than the betrayal itself. Because when you stop feeling pain, it means something darker just clocked in for work. I watched Mark brush his teeth like a normal human being. I listened to him hum in the shower. I let him kiss my forehead like he wasn't a whole villain in a rom-com gone wrong. And in my head, I kept thinking, you really brought your side chick to your own funeral. I waited until he left for work. Then I grabbed my keys and drove straight to my parents' house. No music. No tears, just silence so loud it felt like pressure in my skull. The second I walked into the kitchen, my mom took one look at my face and dropped the spoon. My dad folded his newspaper slowly. My brothers went quiet. That's how you know it's bad. The Rossis don't do quiet unless somebody's about to get spiritually removed from the family tree. I told them everything. The texts, the lies, the Manahi thought he was about to finesse out of my dad for our future home. The part where his mistress was literally coming to the wedding like it was front row tickets to my humiliation. My dad's jaw locked so tight I thought his teeth would crack. My oldest brother stood up so fast the chair scraped the floor. "I'll handle him," my brother said, already halfway to the door. "No," I said, and that word surprised even me. "Not yet." They all looked at me. I told them I wasn't canceling the wedding. I wasn't calling him out. I wasn't giving him a single warning. I wanted him to be comfortable, smiling, thinking he won, because men like Mark don't panic until the trap is already closed. My mom whispered, "Baby, are you okay?" I smiled at her, and that smile wasn't normal. It wasn't soft. It was surgical. "I'm great," I said. "I just want to make sure everyone he lied to gets a front row seat." That's when my dad nodded slowly. The kind of nod that means somebody just signed their own emotional death certificate. Here's the twist nobody expects. I didn't just tell my family. I told my bridesmaids, my cousins, the DJ, the venue coordinator, even the photographer. I turned my own wedding into a controlled demolition site. Everybody thought they were coming to a ceremony. What they were actually coming to was a public reckoning. And Mark, he had no idea. He kept texting me heart emoji, sending me "can't wait to marry you" messages, like he wasn't planning to laugh at me from the third row with his little secret. The morning of the wedding, I put on my dress and didn't feel like a bride. I felt like I was putting on armor. My hands were steady, my heartbeat was calm. That's when I knew I was past hurt and deep into danger. Then my cousin leaned into my ear and whispered something that made my stomach drop all over again. "She's here." I hadn't even walked down the aisle yet. I turned my head just enough to see a flash of red in the crowd. Bold, loud, disrespectful. She really showed up. And the look on her face, she wasn't nervous. She wasn't hiding. She was smiling, like she thought she'd already won. If you're watching this story, tighten your blanket and hit the like button so YouTube understands you want the next chapter unlocked. And tell me in the comments, which beautiful country are you watching from? And what's the exact time there right now? The music started, that soft, romantic piano track everybody recognizes, and I swear the universe was trying to prank me. White petals on the aisle. People are smiling, tones out. Mark standing at the altar looking like the poster boy for perfect husband material. I took my first step forward and felt every eye in the place lock on to me. That part was supposed to feel magical. Instead, it felt like walking into a courtroom where I already knew the verdict. Mark mouthed, "You look beautiful." I almost laughed, with every step. I replayed his messages in my head. The jokes about me, the promises to her, the part where he said the wedding was just for show. It took everything in me not to turn around and walk straight back out. But no, I didn't come this far to quit before the fireworks. I reached the front. The officiant smiled. Mark grabbed my hands. His palms were sweaty. He thought it was nerves. It wasn't. It was guilt. The officiant started talking about love and commitment and honesty. The words felt fake in my ears, like somebody reading vows off a script they didn't believe in. Then came the question, "Do you take Mark to be your lawfully wedded husband?" That silence, that silence was loud. Mark leaned in, whispering, "Babe." I turned slowly and scanned the crowd until I found her. Red dress, perfect hair, sitting there like she bought tickets to a show. Our eyes locked. I smiled. Before I answered that, I said into the mic, "I just want to make sure everyone here actually knows who they're clapping for today." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Mark's grip tightened. "What are you doing?" he hissed. I gently took my hands back. "Relax. You said this was all just a show. Remember?" His face was drained of color. I pointed straight at her. "You, in the red? Stand up?" The woman froze. Her smile cracked. People turned to look at her. She stood slowly, confused, already regretting her life choices. "This is Jessica," I said. "Mark's girlfriend." The gasp that followed felt like someone sucked all the oxygen out of the place. My mom made a noise that sounded like pain and rage at the same time. Mark's mother covered her mouth. Phone started recording for real now. "Sarah, stop," Mark snapped. "You're embarrassing us." I laughed out loud. "Oh, we're way past embarrassment." He tried to grab my arm. I stepped back. "Don't touch me like you didn't just touch her last night." That's when I nodded toward the DJ booth. The screen behind us lit up. Not with our cute couple slideshow, but with receipts, messages, dates, photos, his words in black and white. "It's just a show. You know who I really want." She's clueless. The crowd erupted. People are shouting. Somebody cursed his name. My cousin yelled, "You're trash." Mark's dad looked like he wanted the ground to swallow him whole. Then Jessica found her voice. "He loves me," she yelled, tears streaking her makeup. "You're just a placeholder." Wrong things to say. My aunt stood up behind her, calm as hell, and poured a full glass of red wine over Jessica's head. No hesitation. Just baptized her in bad decisions. Jessica screamed. Chaos broke loose. Mark turned and bolted. He tried to run from his own wedding, But my brother stepped into the aisle and Mark ran straight into a wall of muscle. The sound of that impact, chef's kiss. Sit down, my brother said quietly. Mark slid down to the floor like his bones gave up on him. I walked over, looked down at him, and for the first time in days, I felt calm. You brought your secret to my wedding, I said. So I made your lies public. Then my dad leaned in and whispered something in his ear that made Mark's eyes go wide with real fear. And that's when Mark realized the wedding humiliation wasn't even the worst part of what was about to happen. The garden was still buzzing when they dragged Mark and Jessica out. People were half in shock, half addicted to the chaos like it was a live episode of reality TV. Phones were up, whispers everywhere. The officiant stood there blinking like he accidentally wandered into a crime scene. And that's when I did the last thing Mark ever expected from me. I laughed, not a cute laugh, not a nervous one, a real one. The kind you laugh when something that almost destroyed you suddenly loses all its power. I took the mic back and said, since the ceremony's cancelled but the reception's paid for, y'all might as well eat. The tension snapped. People cheered. The DJ hit music. My cousins rushed me with hugs. My mom wiped her tears and muttered something in Italian that definitely wasn't a blessing. Here's the twist Mark didn't see coming. He thought exposing him was my revenge. It wasn't. The real revenge was what he didn't know yet. Before I walked down that aisle, my dad had already called the bank and canceled the down payment check Mark was waiting on. The house he'd been bragging about to his friends, gone. The future he thought he'd locked in, evaporated before he even ran out of the venue. While he was out there trying to save face in the parking lot, he was actually watching his entire plan collapse in real time. I took off my veil and handed it to my cousin. It felt like shedding a skin that didn't fit me anymore. I wasn't embarrassed. I wasn't broken. I was free. Later, as the party rolled on without a groom, my phone buzzed. A message from Mark. Please, I can fix this. That's when I blocked him. No speech, no closure, conversation, no final tearful goodbye, just silence. Because some people don't deserve an ending scene. They deserve to fade out of your story completely. I looked around at my family, loud, protective, imperfect, and absolutely mine. The people who stood up for me without needing a script. The people Mark tried to play and lost to. And it hit me. The worst thing you can do to someone who betrays you isn't scream. It isn't beg. It isn't even revenge. It's walking away with your dignity so intact they can't touch you anymore. So, if you're watching this and your gut is whispering that something's off in your relationship, listen to it. Don't wait for a wedding. All to find out the truth. If this story gave you that oh damn feeling, hit like so this reaches someone who needs the warning. Subscribe if you want more real stories where cheaters don't get fairy tale endings. Because karma doesn't always come loud. Sometimes it shows up in a white dress, with a microphone, and perfect timing. When the noise finally blurred into background music, I slipped out of the garden just to breathe. The night air hit my face, and for the first time in days, my chest didn't feel tight. I stared down the aisle where I'd walked in ready to marry a lie, and it messed with my head how close I came to signing my life away to someone who saw me as a setup, not a partner. That future was real. The fake smiles, the quiet disrespect, the kind of marriage where you keep shrinking to make room for someone else's secrets. I almost chose that life because it looked good on camera. And that's the scariest part, not the cheating, not the humiliation. The fact that I was about to trap myself in a story that wasn't mine just because I didn't want to admit something felt off. So yeah, it hurt, but it also woke me up. I walked back inside, grabbed a drink, and clinked glasses with my brothers like I'd just survived a wreck because I didn't lose a husband that night. I dodged a sentence. I escaped the future that would have slowly hollowed me out while I smiled for pictures and pretended everything was fine. Mark didn't just lose me. He lost the version of his life where lies still worked. He lost the comfort of being believed. He lost the illusion that he was smarter than the truth. And me. I gained something I didn't even realize I'd been missing myself. So if you're still here watching this, take this as your sign. If your gut is whispering that something's wrong, don't mute it. Don't explain it away. Don't wait until you're dressed in white to find out the person next to you isn't who you thought they were. Listen early. Walk away early. Choose yourself early. And if this story hit you in the chest, hit that like button so it finds the next person who needs the wake up call. Subscribe if you want more real stories where karma shows up with perfect timing and zero mercy dodge, because some people don't get away with it forever sometimes. They get exposed right on schedule.